Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips. Today we have got an awful lot to talk about. I want to kind of let you know where we stand with boosters right now and something new that we're hearing from Royal Caribbean that might be just an indicator of maybe where we are going with boosters, but also a lot of other updates that I think you will find really helpful. First of all, I'd like to welcome all of our Let's Go family members. I really appreciate every one of you, and I am so grateful that you come and watch our videos and that you contribute so much to our wonderful family, so thank you. I also would like to welcome everyone who is new. We're really glad that you found us and hope you stick with us. If anyone hasn't subscribed, we would love it if you would please subscribe, and I think it's going to be a wonderful new chapter in your life. It's just going to open up. You're going to have more friends and more people to visit with cruising, and it's just going to be great, and we're glad to have you here. So first of all, one of our Let's Go family members who is going to be sailing with Royal Caribbean in Alaska in July received an email from Royal Caribbean, and she was really great to send it to me, so thank you, Joy. At the very beginning, they talk about what the Seattle round-trip sailing protocols are going to be. They start off saying, of course, how happy they are to have you come, but then it says, due to the fluidity of the situation, our protocols are subject to change, and we are committed to keeping you informed if they do. While currently not required to sail, the CDC recommends COVID-19 vaccine booster doses for those who are eligible prior to cruise travel. As a result, we strongly recommend getting boosted before your cruise. So they are not requiring boosters yet, but it sounds to me, I just wonder how far down the road boosters are going to be. Because, as many of you know, I have let you know that for all of the major cruise lines in Europe and in the United Kingdom right now, if it has been longer than 9 months since you received your initial vaccine doses, you have to have a booster if you want to sail. Otherwise, you've got to have an exemption. To me, that is a huge step. I think it's how things are going to stay in Europe, because that's what they're requiring. A lot of the countries now are more open. Like, we're going to be flying to Italy, and we can go there without a test as long as we're vaccinated. And I think boosters are just going to become a larger and larger part of that. I think it's just going to be the effort of the whole world to try to not have COVID spread any more than it's going to already, and not have it mutate any more than it already is. That's just based on all of the news stories that I read and what seems to be going on. So I would really like to hear from you all what you think and what you're hearing. So also, I wanted to just point out really quick for those of you who are planning to sail with Royal Caribbean, it says that all guests who are 12 or older must be fully vaccinated. Children 5 to 11 are not required to be vaccinated. However, kids who have been vaccinated may present proof and follow the fully vaccinated protocols. So children who are not vaccinated, they are going to ask them, they're not going to, it doesn't sound like they're going to require it, but they are going to ask them to please wear their mask when they're on the ship. It says full vaccination works for everyone, but you cannot submit a certificate of recovery, is what I'm trying to say, instead of vaccination. So, and that certificate of recovery is what you have to have if you have had COVID and you were positive and now you're negative. And so they also remind people that everybody who is going to sail has to have a PCR or an antigen test within 2 days of embarkation, and unvaccinated children have to have a PCR test within 3 days of embarkation. In all of their protocols that they have got for these sailings, round trip out of Seattle to Alaska, they don't talk about exemptions at all. And so I would love to hear from any of you if you have an exemption to sail on Royal Caribbean as an adult. That would be, I think it would inform a lot of us about what's going on there. They also remind everybody that they say, as far as shore excursions go, it says all guests, regardless of vaccination status, may visit most ports freely or book a shore excursion. It says they are working closely with the government and health authorities to finalize anything. And for going ashore in Canadian ports of call, everybody has to have that ArriveCan app done. And so even if my understanding is that you definitely have to have it if you are going to go ashore in Canada. But they also say in their protocols, as Princess does, that you need to have that ArriveCan app done within 72 hours of embarkation. Now, they don't say they've got people to help you there at the port, but I am certain that they do. Princess says that they've got people to help people at the port there who need help with the ArriveCan app and on the ship. And so if you really are stuck not knowing how to do it, I would say ask at embarkation for that help as well. So that's just kind of an update where we are with boosters. You might recall me mentioning that in the Princess protocols, they also say that boosters are not required, but they are highly recommended. And so I just thought it would be kind of interesting to have that discussion a little bit. It's been a while since we talked about boosters and kind of where we stand with them. And so I would like to hear anything anyone wants to share in the comments about that. Now, this is just a quick little message. I saw that on the June 24th sailing of the Enchanted Princess, which is going on a 7-night Scandinavia cruise, they are going to have a special event with all of these different comedy stars. And so they're going to have 4 different comedy stars for shows on that ship. And it's you know what, I don't think I can say all their names right, but I will. One of them's Lucy Porter. We've got Roy Bremner, the Comedy Store Players, and then Ardal O'Hanlon. And so I just thought it would be kind of fun to mention this. So that's on the June 24th sailing of the Enchanted. And then also I know that on the sailings out of Southampton for June 4th, they are going to have on that ship, I think it's the Sky, they are going to have some of the Jubilee celebrations, because you know that in the UK right now, everyone is abuzz with all of the Jubilee celebrations for Queen Elizabeth, which I think sounds so much fun. I would love to hear from any of you who are on that ship about how all those go. And if you want to post any pictures to our Facebook group, we would all love to see them. And I just think it would be so cool. I should have thought and gone to England this year. I know the year's not over, but it's a little late to try to be there in June right now. But I just think that sounds just like so much fun. And so I wanted to let you know. Another quick thing that I wanted to make everyone aware of is that so a couple of Let's Go family members have commented that, you know how when you generally get tested to go on a cruise, you do that COVID test. A lot of times insurances are not reimbursing for that because it's for travel. It's not for illness. And that's how our insurance company is too. But a few people have mentioned that their insurance will reimburse the cost for those tests that you can order from eMed or Optum. I've got one right here, that their insurance will reimburse for doing these. And so you might want to check into it and see if your insurance is one that will reimburse for that. It's always nice to save money whenever you can, so I wanted to make sure everybody knows about that. And then this is just a funny little thing that I thought you all might be interested in. It's a follow-up to a story that we heard a while ago. Remember clear back in January when Crystal Cruises, people were actually on the cruise ship when the parent company declared bankruptcy. And so all of the people had to get off the ship. The crew had to get off. It was a big mess. And then they were in Freeport, Bahamas, so that the U.S. Marshals couldn't seize them. And in the long run, they were seized because a court had said they could be sold to pay all of the debts of the company because they owed lots of money to a lot of creditors. Well, now 2 of those ships are going up for sale. The Crystal Symphony and the Crystal Harmony are going to go up for sale. And so it'll be kind of fun to hear if someone buys them. Apparently, you have to make your offer and turn it in with a deposit by June 7th if you want to be considered. And then by June 14th, if they've decided to accept an offer in the auction, the buyer will be notified that they have won. And the thing that I think is so interesting about this is that the only person who has come forward publicly and said that they are interested and going to bid on these ships is a gentleman named Manfredi Lefebvre di Orvidio. I probably said that wrong. But anyway, he is the guy who back in the 1990s put together a bunch of investors and went together and made Silver Seas Cruise Line. And so that one, you might know, was recently sold to Royal Caribbean. And so they are divested of those holdings, but he has expressed interest in that. And as you probably know, Crystal Cruises is very much a luxury cruise line. And so it would be like right up his alley to put together another cruise line out of starting with those ships. And so I thought it would just be kind of fun to let everybody know what's going on with that. And when I hear more about it, I will keep you up to date because I think it's really interesting and we just might get another cruise line out of it. So last night during our live, our Let's Go family member Faye came and she was having a hard time finding excursions for her cruise. And so we tried to give her the instructions there, just telling her on the live how to do it. But it's occurred to me that if she's got the question, probably a lot of you have that question. And a couple of Sundays ago, I had a video go up where I showed people that needed help to how to navigate YouTube a little bit, just simply to be able to find when we do post links or information under a video, just to make sure you know how to do all that and everything, because you know they change it very often. And if you don't use it a lot, you don't stay up to date with it. So I showed that. And then I just showed some of the basics about navigating the Princess website that I thought might come in handy. So I am going to link that video under this video so that it is really easy for you to find. But I wanted to let everybody know, if you are brand new to Princess and you book a cruise with Princess, really the next thing that you should do is go on princess.com, make yourself your own account and get logged in using your booking number for your cruise. And you can do that whether you book your cruise on your own or whether you book a cruise through a travel agent. I would definitely do that no matter how you book a cruise, okay? And you can follow along the directions in the video that I have, how to find different things in it. I do show you how to get to excursions, but be aware that once you are logged into your website and you enter your booking number, and hopefully it'll find you, like now, every time we book another cruise, I don't need to be logged into my account to book it. We just can book it and then it picks up who I am because it uses our Princess loyalty number. That every time it just always finds who we are, so it's not a problem. We book it and it shows up in our account. But then as those cruises that you've got upcoming are listed, always next to them is a little thing that says manage this booking. You click on that and you go into that cruise, and then across the top of that screen is all this information like I show you in the video. And from there you can pretty much do anything you want to do with a cruise. You can book your excursions, you can book drink packages, you can book Lotus Spa appointments, you can see your itinerary and the hours, and if it's a water tender port, a water shuttle port. They used to call them tenders. They're still tenders. But there's so much that you can look at with regards to your cruise. And so that is really handy. And the thing that I really like is it gives me all the options for all the excursions. Some travel agencies only sell excursions that are with third-party people. And so, of course, you can do that if you want. But it is also really nice. I like to see what is offered by the cruise line before I decide if I'm going to book with that or if I'm going to book with a third-party vendor for our excursions. And so if anybody needs help, put that in the questions as well, and we're going to and we can talk about it some more. But I just wanted to make that video really handy for everybody and to let our first-time cruisers know you definitely want to do that, because then it's kind of like your headquarters for your cruise. It's where you can find out lots of information. Like when I pull ours up, there's booking information you can click on, and it brings up and tells you if you need a visa to visit somewhere, to bring your passport. It's just really helpful with all the information that it gives you. So definitely do that. The next thing, I'm just going to give you a few updates now that we're hearing from some of our Let's Go family members, either regarding questions that I've asked or just information that they've offered that I think will be really helpful for people traveling right now. And so first of all, the other day I had asked if anybody knew anything about a train from Venice down to Ravenna. Had done that personally. I hear that it goes very smoothly. I know Ravenna is beautiful, Venice is beautiful, there's lots of places to stay. Our Let's Go family member Nancy said that they have taken the train from the high-speed train from Venice to Florence and then on to Rome. She said it goes really quick, super easy, comfortable seating, and they took the first class, which gives you the reclining chairs if you would like to rest as you travel. So I just thought that that might come in handy for some of you. We've got Marlene, and she was just in London, and I really appreciate the information that she has given us so far. So she said their trip got off to a rocky start because their flight was 4 hours late leaving Newark, New Jersey, due to an issue with the train. Their 8 p.m. departure turned into midnight. And so that just highlights, once again, how good it is to fly in a day early, even like she is going to visit some things first before her cruise, but always go the day early because lots of funny things can happen. But she says ever since then, it's been smooth sailing, as she calls it. There were no issues at Heathrow. She got through customs super fast, no long lines. She said she was able to use the e-gates fairly quickly and once through, quickly found her luggage at the carousel. And as she walked up, her luggage was already there. So that was quick. She went straight to the arrival hall and she had booked for international friends to pick her up. She was the only pickup on that flight, and so she had the whole Mercedes sedan to herself for the ride into the city. She said her hotel that she is staying at, which I really appreciate, this is an excellent resource. One of you sent me an email this morning wondering about where to stay in London, and I would highly recommend this place because last time I was in London, we did an Airbnb, and I don't recommend that one. And so, not that all Airbnb is bad, but I would not go to that one again. She is staying at the Victoria Claremont, Clermont, right next to Victoria Station. Victoria Station is very, very handy. It's where you can catch trains to go further afield if you want to travel around England by train a little bit more, and it also is a really great place to catch the metro for going places around the city. So that is a really good place to stay. The Victoria Claremont. She says due to the late arrival, she skipped going to the Natural History Museum because she had booked an entry time before leaving home. And that is a really hard thing about having a flight delay, especially when you're somewhere and you're trying to book a whole bunch of reservations to see things. And so I'm sorry that she missed out on that Natural History Museum. She did walk over to Harrods and got dinner there and a few gifts. Now, if you have never been to Harrods, Harrods is an institution, number one, in London, but it is also extraordinary. It has everything in here. Like, you've got to go to Harrods. You just have to go. If you've never been, you go there and it is like, it's a huge shopping store, and it's like the kind that has all the different levels that we used to have more of here in the United States. And so, but it has lots of eating places, and it has everything from where you're going to sit down and have a lovely meal to somewhere more quick that you're just like with more of a counter. It has like lots of different eating places, and so you might want to look up before you go and kind of pick what you want to do. And then it sells like everything. It has everything from your very highest end jewelry, clothing, handbags, shoes, from the very highest fancy, so expensive, clear down to like of more, as you would think of affordable clothing, more, I guess it depends on what your budget is, what's affordable, but clear down the whole levels, like every level of pricing, I should say. And then they have the funnest souvenirs there as well. They've got purses with Harrods on it. They've got makeup bags with Harrods on it. They've got everything that you can think of with their logo on it. They've got a lot of other fun souvenirs that don't have their logo, but like Cath Kidston, all of the really fun things that you think of with London. And so you have to go. And they also sell a lot of different kind of foods, cookies, treats, biscuits. Marlene mentioned that her mother fell in love with their marmalade years ago. She doesn't know if it's quite the same, but she got her a couple of jars. And so go to Harrods if you haven't been there. It is just really fun to see. She said that breakfast is included at her hotel. It's very good. And so she was heading out for a full day city tour that was included in the package that she booked. So Marlene, I will try to remember to follow up with you, but if you ever see this video, send us information on your package because we would like to know. Another thing that we heard from Hetty yesterday over on our Facebook group, and she was, I love the things that she shared, is really helpful. So first of all, her flight took off on time just fine, but then there was a medical emergency. So they got diverted to Albuquerque, and when she was writing the message on her Facebook group, she was in San Francisco trying to catch another flight up to Seattle. And so she said it's a great reminder to fly in the day before because things happen that there's no way that you can foresee. And another really handy tip that she told us is she puts air tags in her luggage. That way she always knows where it is. I liked that idea so much that we ordered some air tags. They're supposed to get here on Monday, and I'm just going to tuck them in our luggage, and then we'll always know where our luggage is. And if you are not familiar with air tags, basically they're made by Apple, and it uses kind of like the Find Something network that Apple has. And the bottom line is that you can put an air tag in something like your luggage, and then you can always see where it is on your phone. And so I think that would be super handy if your luggage ever doesn't show up right on the baggage claim like you expect, then you can kind of see where it is or track it during your trip if you want. And so I thought that is a really good tip. So thank you very much, Hetty. I appreciate it. We also heard from Tiffany, and as you might recall, they're over on the Regal Princess. She let us know that when you visit Messina, they're going to have a passenger locator form that you're going to have to fill out. She said that they filled it out. You're supposed to carry it with you while you're in Messina. They did it. Nobody asked them about the form all day, but apparently somebody heard that someone had been asked for it and didn't have it, and that was a problem. And so definitely fill it out and take it with you. I appreciate that. Messina, Italy is just extraordinary. It's there on Sicily. Make sure that you are outside for the sail-in on the port side of the ship. Well, I should say it depends on when you're going. We are on the starboard side of the ship. We decided so late we could not get a room that we wanted on the floor that we wanted on starboard. So we are on port. So did I say that right? So we're on port. So as we sail in, we will be able to see it. My most favorite time was sailing in first thing in the morning. It was extraordinary. The sun was rising and you could see across the water, and that beautiful monument that they have right there is so beautiful. I'll show it to you this time. But then since we are on port, we'll see it going in but not going out. So our sail away might be, it'll just depend on how it's going, if we will be on starboard, if we'll run over and find a place to do it there, or if we'll be over on port. But it is beautiful is what I'm trying to say. Don't miss the sail in and out of Messina. And we're going to go over to Taormina, which is like about an hour bus ride, but it's a really pretty place to see, and we're going to hopefully walk around in Messina as well, I think, before we go. Or after, I'll let you know. But anyway, you don't really want to miss Messina either. They have a beautiful, beautiful cathedral and clock tower and fountain, and just a beautiful town there. Anyway, somebody else named Don in our Let's Go family was so kind. He just barely sent this. He says, we went from our car service to their room on the ship in 22 minutes. They boarded the Emerald Princess in Southampton. He said that lines moved very quickly. They did the test from EMED and did it yesterday, the day before they were boarding the ship. He's 11, says online had a few problems but got it done. And so I'll be excited to hear more from Don on that. But I want to say that when you call in on EMED to do those tests, the people are really, really helpful. They are so helpful. They tell you how to hold the box up just right to see what they want to see. They tell you how to tilt either your laptop or your phone, just how to do it so they can see what they need to do. They're really, really nice people. Every time we've done it, they've been really helpful. So don't be intimidated. They'll help you and it will turn out okay. So I appreciate hearing from Don that the boarding on the Emerald Princess went so very smoothly. Thank you. And then one more update, and this is just, to me, this reminds me of why we're all cruising. This is from Donna, and I do remember them. This is an update from today, which is Saturday, May 21st. She said they just finished their first week on the beautiful Sky Princess cruise to the Baltic Sea. We are having the time of our lives. We've been to Gdansk, Poland, Visby and Stockholm, Sweden, and Tallinn, Estonia so far. She said the ship is so beautiful. It literally takes her breath away. And so I just wanted to say that I am so glad that they're having such a wonderful time. And to me, she is the epitome of just going and enjoying and being happy with where you are, enjoying the places that you get to visit. I am sure she didn't say if anything had been wrong or had been off to a rocky start, but invariably a little something happens that she hadn't planned on. But the important thing is to plow forward, enjoy where you are, and just drink in the whole experience. And so thank you, Donna, for reminding us about that. I just hear this again and again from people right now who are sailing to Alaska, who get up there and their itineraries are changed or their excursions are canceled, and they still just say they are having the best time. So thank you for being such a lovely example to all of us, for sharing that with all of us, and we will do our best to do the same thing. I am really excited for our upcoming trip, and I'm really excited for everyone's cruise too, and to hear how it's going. So if you're just getting on a ship or just off a ship, or on a ship, we would love to hear from you, and on any cruise line. So just let us know how you're doing and how things are going. Thank you very much for watching our videos. If you appreciate these updates, would you please give this video a thumbs up, because it really does help us out. I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.